In today's Nigeria, access to justice is fast becoming a privilege of the rich and powerful, while the average citizen is expected to respect your elders, calm down, and suffer in silence. I have followed and watched with utter disgust as law enforcement in Nigeria turned a deaf ear to the cries of hundreds of Nigerians regarding real estate scams. Yet Scott Iguma, who dared to speak, was arrested, vilified, and charged to court. PWAN Group, a real estate company, was accused of land fraud and selling receipts instead of actual land. Instead of these allegations triggering a public investigation, Scott was arrested. 3 days in police custody, 10 count charges, all for raising his voice on Instagram. In an interview, the acting group MD of P1, Julius Oyedemi, gave a confusing and incoherent account of what had transpired between himself, Scott, and the Nigerian police force. After the interview, he allegedly went on to try to intimidate and harass one of the journalists. This is the behavior of a person who believes himself to be above the law. Let's be clear, Scott should face the law if he lied. But the speed and energy with which the police responded to P1's complaints versus how many ordinary Nigerians are ignored when they report real estate fraud is proof of a broken system. The EFCC had invited P1 following the over 130 petitions submitted through Scott. Instead of cooperating with the investigation, P1 chose to connive with the Nigerian police force, using intimidation and harassment tactics against Scott to avoid accountability. This is not just about Scott, it's about power, about the weaponization of defamation laws to silence activism, about police being more responsive to corrupt clouds than civic cries, about the growing fear that if you call out the system will come for you. We need laws that protect whistleblowers, not punish them. Institutions that investigate claims, not intimidate claimants. A judiciary that upholds justice, not hierarchy. And we need to remind ourselves again and again and again that no Nigerian is better than another Nigerian. Not because of their title, not because of their connections, and certainly not because of their wallet.
So, the behavior of the police is disgraceful in this context. And it is reflective of how the police has been weaponized against the indigents, against people, against citizens. I remember...
Against poor citizens, let's even use the right word, not just citizens, because Nepo babies are also citizens.
I remember when we had this issue of, with Dele Farotimi, and I raised an issue about the fact that the police was using this cyber crime, act to go after him. And I said to them that, look, it is daily today.
Tomorrow it could be you.
Tomorrow it could be you.
Yeah.
Because they use this criminal defamation statutes and all that to be able to weaponize it, to arrest people and prosecute them. In fact, not prosecute them, persecute them. Because that's what they're doing with Scott. All right? They're using that statute. Instead of going, if he truly defamed P-Man, go to the civil court.
Yeah.
Go to the civil court, file a defamation suit against him, and let him come to court to say he didn't, and then, prove yourself. But because the intention was not to, seek redress, the intention is to punish. He was denied even a bottle of water for almost 2 days. You will see how criminal and how criminally minded and how wicked the Nigerian police is. But you see, the thing is this. Those who want to hide under Cybercrime Act, the law, the police to perpetuate criminality, that is the P1 of or the P-man of this world, they are bought market. Because this issue will not go away. We will keep talking about it. We'll keep drawing attention to it. And I said here on this table that I've not met one real estate person that is not somewhat fraudulent. And that's the reality. That's the fact. Everybody knows that.
Let's call it spade a spade. Nigerian police force or Nigerian security system have changed their priority or what they're designed for, which is to protect the lives of every citizen, to protecting the life of the rich, from the poor. You will see real estate, the CEOs of real estate companies, and they have convoyed with police officers going around with them. And you ask yourself, knowing clearly that these guys have, like you said, they have a lot of shady deals, that even sometimes the police officer is in the car while the guy is making this utterance and saying, let's do that. They hear it. By the end of the day, poverty has created a system where everybody is compromised. Everybody is compromised. And it all boils down to the fact that people are poor. And when there's a society exists where people cannot afford the basic needs, they start compromising their roles and responsibility towards society. And that's where the Nigerian police force comes into play. Like if you have a problem, like you don't go to police, you go to very dark man.
Yeah.
You go to Scott. Isn't that like, what do you think, what society, like what do you think that is? So the best way now, the only way now to hold people accountable is to bring them in front of the media, in front of the world, to see that you are, that is where we find justice now.
The system is broken. The police is not your first resort when there is a conflict. It tells a lot about the so-called reform of the police in Nigeria and where the priorities of our lawmakers are. Because if citizens are wary of going to the police and would rather go to a fellow citizen for succor and for justice, it tells you that the justice system, there's a question mark on the entire justice system, the chain, even the judiciary is not absolved in this matter. Because as I said earlier about the Victory case, girl who was raped, the judiciary let the abuser go. We're wondering where the DPO who enabled all of that miscarriage of justice is at the moment. He's being sheltered by the police, the authorities. So you see, it comes back to Nigeria being a connection state. It's about who you know. It's about, do you know who I am, number one? Do you know who I know, number two? So you can be a Nigerian, and because you're dealing with somebody who knows somebody in the right places, you will get a miscarriage of justice, and that's what's happening in what you're talking about. And we cannot continue like this. We cannot continue like this. This is the area that the people governing us must look at, whether the executive or the legislative or even the local government. We're still asking that. Perhaps if the local government has more power to, be there for citizens at that level, maybe we'll have less of miscarriage of justice like this. In the course of my work, I've had several opportunities to train police officers. You ask police officers about the law, they have no idea.
Oh, okay, nah.
Copies of Nigerian Constitution, copies of the law, you cannot get one at a police station.
So what constitutes their training in the police training college exactly?
Good question. Wow. So that is why in the work that we do, when a survivor reports at the police station, the police officer will tell you, when you see the perpetrator, call us. So we have citizens becoming investigators on behalf of the police. And that is what happened here. Rather than the police investigating to know what actually happened, they now relied on the information supplied by PWAN. Which is
in this case.
Yes, in this case. And this is even more tragic when you consider the fact that the police is your first point of contact with the justice system. So when it is destroyed, when your confidence in the system is eroded at that level, nothing else works.
That's it.
They've actually charged him to court for cybercrime.
On cybercrime.
So that already assumes that they've done their investigation and they found him chargeable.
Yeah, but the cybercrime, section 24 of that Cybercrime Act, the Court of Appeal judgment, if I'm not mistaken, held it a violation of your right to expression.
Yes.
And the ECOWAS court as well told the Nigerian government to actually amend that section because it is a violation. The issue now is caught today. It might just be you tomorrow.
Exactly.
There you go.
So what do we do?
This one that we've talked now, the microphone carry us. So.
Let them come now. We are men.
We cannot let impunity prevail. We continue to speak out till we have a society where no Nigerian is better than any Nigerian.